Hello, my name's Sid. Well, actually, it's Sydney Zacharias Anthony Jones, but that's a bit of a mouthful, don't you think? My parents couldn't decide which of my granddads to name me after, so they just gave me both their names. One of them was called Zacharias, and the other is called Anthony. Sydney's my name, but you'd probably guess that. I'm 11 years old, and I'm from Ilford. I love playing with my toy planes, and so does my best friend Norman. We're going to be fighter pilots when we're older. His dad's a pilot. I could show you my collection of planes if you like. Mine are far better than Norman's. But he's got a tin of soldiers which his dad gave him, which are dead good. All right, I'll tell him. I'm meant to be telling you about the evacuation. You see, at the start of the war, my mum and dad were told that I should be moved away from London to a safer place in the countryside. Norman and I were going to be moved to Ipswich. That's where we get put with someone who would look after us until it was safe enough to come home again. I didn't want to go, though. Dad said that I had to stiffen up my lip and hold my head up high. But that always gave me a neck ache, so I didn't want to do that. Operation Pied Piper, they called it. Dad said it was going to be some job moving all the children out of the cities. Mum helped me pack my suitcase ready to go. I had to take my gas mask and identity card. But I was also allowed to take 2 vests, 2 pairs of pants, a pair of trousers and 2 pairs of socks, 6 handkerchiefs, a face cloth, a towel, shoes, and a pullover. Mum said that I had to take the woolly socks that Grandma knitted me, but I hate them because they itch really bad. I might swap them when she's not looking. Dad said I should take some soap and wellies because I might be staying on a farm. Mum's going to make me wear my Macintosh because it won't fit in my suitcase. Dad keeps saying, don't forget to brush your teeth and clean them twice a day, but he can't talk. I know he only does it once a day. I woke up dead early the morning that I was leaving. Mum made me my favourite breakfast, toast and dripping. I think she was really sad that I was going because she kept disappearing into the yard to blow her nose. Dad said goodbye as he had to go to work. They were training him up to be a firefighter because he couldn't sign up after his accident. Mum had packed me a jam sandwich, some raisins and dry biscuits for the train journey. She said that it was going to be a long day. I was trying so hard to be brave and to have a stiff upper lip, but it was dead hard. I remember walking down the street holding my mum's hand tight. It was cold and raining. Mum put my hand inside her pocket like she always does, and it felt really warm. For a second, I closed my eyes and just forgot that I was leaving. I pretended that she was taking me to school and that I'd see her that evening. There were so many children at the station, crowds of them with their parents. The noise of chattering, sobs from upset children, parents saying goodbye, and grown-ups calling out names and directing people. Mum gripped my hand even tighter in her pocket and stopped by the gate. We could hear the train engine starting up and the sound of Miss Evers, the billeting officer. Mum said that she knew that voice anywhere. She even smiled when she said it. We stood there by the gate for ages. Mum, are we going in? I asked. I looked up at her. Her face had turned white. She had tears running down her face. That's when we saw Norman's mum come hurtling out the station with Norman desperately trying to keep up. He's staying with me. No one's going to split my family up, so we'll take our chances. Norman's mum shouted as she gave my mum a wink. Mum couldn't help but smile. I didn't go with the other children. A lot of people said that it was wrong and that my mum was putting me in danger by keeping me at home. But I was glad. After the war had ended, a lot of my other friends came back with lots of different stories about what it was like living in the countryside. Stories of horses and cows, open fires, and people that spoke funny like. Jenny Andrews, she said that she lived with this old lady that lived next to a church, and the lady taught her to make the most delicious cakes. Chatterbox Simon stayed with the doctor and his wife and their 10-year-old son, and they became the best of friends, like brothers even. A lot of them said that it was really different in the countryside, and it took a long time to get used to. There were fields that were never ending and strange sounds and smells everywhere. But some of them said that it became a new home, and they want to go back to visit. It's probably true that the evacuation saved loads of lives. Seeing how much damage was caused by the bombs was quite frightening. Norman loved the air raids and listening to the sound of the bombs, but they scared me. I'll never get over the sound of that air raid Saigon bellowing out. It still makes me shiver inside. I'm glad that I stayed behind, though otherwise I wouldn't have had the best adventure ever. I wouldn't have been part of the Spitfire Club,